Hi guys, my name is Luthais, and today we are going to look at the best starting looting locations in Deadside. When you start playing the game on a full server or a quiet server or empty server, it doesn't really matter. And our first nomination is Yantar. Now, one note that I have to make here, guys, is that this is on my own server and I have set the loot to 50%, okay? On an official server, the loot will only spawn about 10% of the time at certain locations. The maximum you can set it at on your own server is 50%. So I did that so that most of the loot locations will activate, so that I can show you what you guys can find at the tier 1 loot locations, okay? Which are basically places like Yantar and normal towns and lumber yards and mission areas when there isn't a mission there, and then various towns. So when it comes to tier 1 loot, okay, everything that you can get in a normal house counts as tier 1, plus all the stuff that you can get by selling it. For instance, watches, and rope, and various items. And of course, I'm just showing you guys a few crate locations which you might have not known about, okay? So tier 1 is basically the sawed-off shotgun, the double barrel shotgun, the 2 normal pistols, basic clothing like what you can get from AIs, and yeah, nothing major, okay, but a really safe way for you guys to get going and collect money, even on a full server. If you go between these locations, you can collect a lot of resources that will give you money, and then you can build your money up to get to tier 2 loot. And we will be discussing, what tier 2 loot is when you basically farming tier 1 locations. At the moment, I'm wearing tier 3 loot, the best loot that you can get, the best gear that you can have. And below my pants, from my pants and lower down, that's all the items that I have got in Yantar, okay? I'm trying to collect one of each to show you guys what you can get in Yantar. And that basically is all the building materials that you need, all the tier 1 weaponry that you need, and of course your moonshine and your rubbing alcohol, and your vodka, okay, which you will need to craft sterilized rags. And the way to do that is just to tear up clothing, into rags, and then use the rubbing alcohol or the moonshine, or the vodka to create that. Like I'm showing you right there, rubbing alcohol, which is the best because it creates 4 sterilized rags. And here I'm just showing you that you can loot an area even if you think it's been looted by going to looting places where people don't normally loot, okay? People will normally rush the buildings, but at the back of Yantar and various other towns, there are outside areas which people don't focus on, where you can get really great loot, okay? So even if you aren't lucky enough to find loot inside the buildings, just search the surrounding areas and you'll definitely be able to get something, even a crate, at the back of the building. So, don't always go for the most obvious spots. Make sure you make notes of all the locations where you can get crates and where loot normally does spawn. Specifically like a location like this with sandbags, where you can use the sandbags for cover. See whoever comes into the area, maybe they have got great loot. And the fantastic thing about tier 1 loot locations, not specifically normal towns, you can get it in towns, but when it comes to Yantar and Luzerne, and places with these broken down buildings, and industrial places like the Beregevoy docks, you know, or the lumber yards or the locations where missions normally spawn, you can get all the backpacks in the game. Okay, the percentage chance of those backpacks, the hectic backpack spawning, are very, very low, but you can get all tier backpacks in these locations depending on how many times you go there and how many times you loot it. Okay, so you can get the best backpack, and you can get various kinds of armor. Assault armor, you know, the best armor. Again, the chances that you're going to run into it is very rare, but here at the back is a perfect example for you that we got a tier 2 shotgun. Okay, which you won't find very regularly in tier 1 locations, but there are chances of it. Okay, so tier 2 weapons are quite, you know, are rare finds in tier 1 locations, and of course all the backpacks and all the armor you can find. Of course you'll find the lower grade backpacks and the lower grade armors and vests quite regularly in these locations, but all I want you to know is that you can get lucky, okay, picking up 150k backpack or 150k armor, okay, yeah. And then, you know, if you get it and you haven't got great gear, the safe zone is, you know, your point of interest. You need to run like hell. And then of course batteries and you know, electric drills and everything, and electric saws, you know, you can find here as well, which adds to the amount of money that you can generate to buy those tier 2 weapons. Then you can get quite unique gear, which I really love collecting. You'll find more of it at missions, okay, but you do get rare gear, and you can get quite cool gear from AIs as well. They might not have great inventory slots, okay, but at least you'll look cool, you know, and you can play around with it. Okay, if how your character looks is important to you, you've got quite a bunch of looks that you can go for. But in any case, Yantar is by far the best place. You can see we picked up a police vest, and there have been times where I've picked up the best armor in the game. Okay, but what I need you to focus on is that about 80% of the map is tier 1, okay, except for missions. Missions we're going to do in the third video. This is the first video when it comes to loot. The second video will focus on getting a lot of tier 2 weaponry and where to get it. And in the last video, you know, we will handle how to get the best, you know, the best gear in the game. But of course, I wanted to show you exactly what kind of loot you can get at Yantar, and you can see it's a wide variety. You can get Gorka clothing, you know, you can get cool guns and everything, and that enables you to save up money to go buy those tier 2 weapons so that you can take on hard or epic missions. Okay, you can also take on easy and medium missions to find tier 2 weaponry and some good money to boost, you know, to boost your bankroll so that you can buy tier 2 gear. But yes, for hard and epic missions, you're gonna need tier 2 to tier 3 gear to do it reliably, especially if you're a solo player. Okay, so yeah, you can get lucky with great gear here, and then as soon as you've built up enough money or you farmed enough easy to medium missions, you know, you can get the gear to do heavy and epic missions. One thing that I'm crazy about, I'm not very well protected with this gear on me. I have got no helmet, but hunters clothing have got your hoodie that you can put over your head. Okay, and this is my kind of scavenger or my kind of looting gear that I love to wear. Basically, I've just got the Stalker backpack. I've got the best vest on me with the most space, so I can loot a heck of a lot of stuff. But I've got no protection. Okay, so I can get killed very easily with a headshot. Basically, I can just die very quickly. Okay, so my stealth needs to be my priority. Okay, I don't want to get spotted very easily. I don't want to run in the open too often. And you can get this gear from AIs. You can't buy it at the save zones, but you can get this gear from AIs. And then, of course, missions as well. Okay. Now, I just spawned these items in for you guys so that you can see how cool you can look. And here I'm rocking the UMR, which shoots .45 ammunition, which does the most damage in the game per bullet at the moment. And yeah, this is basically a tier 2 setup. Okay, you've got the UMR, you've got the C19, which is a tier 2 pistol, you've got the Stalker backpack and the best vest, which is tier 2 equipment. So either you go for looks, to look really cool, to focus on stealth, or you have to go for the assault helmet and the assault armor, which is also tier 2 equipment, but it will save you a lot of the time, okay, and help you to not die. Then, of course, sterilized rags is your tier 2 medical supplies. Bandages are, of course, tier 3 medical supplies because you need to buy it, and rags is tier 1, so even if you don't find rubbing alcohol or anything like that, if you kill enough AIs, you can just use their clothing to heal yourself. But I mean, a dirty rag only heals you for 5 health, okay? So yes, you can heal yourself completely with 2 stacks of dirty rags, but it wastes a lot of time. So that's why I say it's tier 1. Tier 2 is when you've got a bunch of sterilized rags, because they heal you for 15 health per sterilized rag. And yeah, now you only need 7, okay? Instead of 20 dirty rags, you only need 7 rags, 7 sterilized rags to heal you fully if you were on 0 health, but if you want 15 health, it's only going to take you 6. And yeah, then bandages heals you for 35, so of course, in any circumstances, you just need 3 bandages to heal you fully, so it saves you a heck of a lot of time. And then if you've got some health left, I usually just use 2 bandages, because if I've got an assault vest on me and an assault helmet, I just want to make sure my health is at about 90, okay? Basically 92, 95, because if I get shot with Mosin in the chest, I'm only going to have 8 health left. So, and with the best vest, I'm going to have 16 health left. So if I've got the best vest on me, I want to make sure I've got at least 85 health or more, always. And if I've got the assault vest on me, I want to make sure I've got 93 health or more, okay? So that little bit of health won't seem like a lot to you, but it makes a major difference, okay? That's why I like having bandages, sterilized rags and dirty rags on me when I want to do combat, because you might think you're fine at 90 health, but you're not going to be fine if a guy hits you with a Mosin, okay? If he hits you in the head, you're going to be dead in any case. But if he hits you in the chest, okay, it will be the difference between surviving that and not surviving that, okay? So if a guy's aiming at you with a VSD, you're in some deep trouble. But if a guy's aiming at you with a Mosin, or Mosin K, then you can take that first shot, get into cover, heal yourself, and carry on. Now, if you die and you can't see your body, you're gonna need a friend, okay? If you're freaking out, if you had a lot of loot on you, and you don't want to lose your body, do not log out of the game, okay? Call a friend up, let him log into the server and come and get your body, because he will be able to see your body, but you won't be able to see your body. So then he just looks at your body and he throws everything down on the ground, enabling you to loot that body, okay? If you log out of the game, your body is going to be gone. And it is a bad bug, and if it has happened to you guys quite a lot, let's spam the Deadside Discord and tell them to fix this, to fix that bug as soon as they can. I don't know if it happens to everyone, maybe just because of my ping, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can lose like you know, 500k worth of gear because of that bug. Okay, so if it happened to you guys, spam the Discord, and if it doesn't happen to you, you know, or in the meantime, playing with a friend will help a lot in these situations. And if you don't want to lose your gear, don't quit the server, phone a friend, Discord a friend, let him come onto your server, you know, and just get your gear for you, because that is quite bad. As you will see now, I've got the same hunter's gear on, and I've got the MP5, which is really also a very cool tier 2 gun. And here you can see I'm trying to put down the crate because I've got less inventory space. But in the previous video I showed you guys how to place the 3 crates, you know, to do the 3 missions much easier. So that's a sacrifice you have to make. Either you place the crates beforehand, or you keep a crate on you to have that extra inventory space. Here again I've got 46 health. And you know, this is the difference. I've got the helmet, I've got the assault helmet, I've got the assault armor, but my health is very low. Yeah, so when the S85 hits me, I'm dead. Where if I focused on my health, then the S85 wouldn't have been able to kill me. Okay, so that's why I say focus on your health and understand how much damage every single gun does. Okay, if you're in a location like this, then you know a shotgun's going to do a lot of damage point blank, but you know that they're normally just going to hit you with shotguns from a distance, or pistols, or S85s. Okay, so with the S85, you know you need at least 71 health and above, because if you get shot with an S85, it's going to leave you with about 30 health. Okay, so depending on what armor you have, but you know, it's important to understand. Yeah, I'm just showing you that the MP5 is a really nice option. I love using it sometimes. It uses the 9x19 ammo like the Beretta. So I love rocking this gun with the Beretta. And then I love rocking the UMR with the C19 because they use the same ammo. Okay, it just makes it easier. Like having 100 shots with a pistol doesn't really make sense. You're never going to use that amount of ammo, so you're actually wasting that slot. Where if you use the MP5 with a Beretta, you're not wasting the ammo because both guns uses that ammo. And if you use the UMR and the C19, both guns use that ammo as well. Okay, so you're utilizing your slots much better. And right here, I'm just showing you that doesn't matter how small a tree is. I see a lot of people fighting in the open and then they die. Trees, any kind of cover has a major effect on your survivability. Okay, and scanning the area before you fight, and reloading. So that's a clip, and now I can change to my pistol. Okay, so shooting out your clip and then having to reload wastes precious time. But if you can swap between your weapons really fast, it's going to save your life. And of course, the speed at which your gun reloads, you need to take note of as well. If you guys want to, you can just do the system where you drag your ammo. So you press tab to go into your inventory. You drag the ammo to to the gun, and then your gun will be reloaded very, very quickly. I like to immerse myself and keep it as realistic as possible, but that's also an option for you guys. Okay, so we've gone from Yantar to Luzerne and to the harbor, and now when you come out of the harbor, this little shop will be here, and on the other side of the shop there will be garages that you guys will see now. And what I want you guys to notice is that all the loot is the same. Okay, there's axes, there's tier 1 guns, there's building materials, there's rubbing alcohol and moonshine and vodka. You know, there's AIs that can make getting rags for you very, very easy. So yes, you know, it's giving you all the resources that you want. But we're going to do the mission areas as well. And then we're going to end on one of the biggest towns, in my opinion. Okay? And I'm going to show you the small difference there is in a town. It's not small, it's actually quite big. But the main purpose of the starter guide, for the best starting loot in Deadside, is to show you guys that 80% of the map gives you the same kind of loot. So whether you're looting a town or Yantar or Luzerni, or a lumber yard, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get the same kind of loot. The amount of spawn points that you will get is just going to differ slightly, and the way it's going to differ is that, just going to get past this. I was quite confused with the bullets landing right through here. But as you can see, I've got 87 damage because of the armor. Okay, so the damage reduction from the assault vest and the assault helmet is saving me a heck of a lot of healing. Okay, and enables me to take a lot more damage from tier 1 weapons. Okay, that guy in the garage shot me with a shotgun. I didn't take a lot of damage, and you guys will see I've got a big backpack on me. Okay, one of the best backpacks without the cool skin on it, and that I found at the harbor. Okay, so the harbor also qualifies as a Luzerni Yantar lumber mill loot location. And that's why I said you can get tier 3 backpacks and armors, it's just going to happen very rarely. And with basic looting of tier 1 locations, you can make quite a bit of money. I'm throwing away this dog tag because I'm not taking any advantage on my server. Okay, you will see my scrap that I've got here on the left hand side. So yeah, I do the guides and I use my admin powers to show you guys, to give you guys the guides, but I don't keep any of the gear. I usually just, suicide, and start fresh again. You will see that I've got a lot of equipment on the left, and that's because I dropped all my equipment, in the safe zone, so that I can, when I keep on playing, I can just go on like that. And we've got $1 million challenge at the moment, and I'm quite behind with my 116,000. Because I'm focusing on guides and mods, and servers that I'm running. But in any case, to get back to the point, when we have sold everything, okay, you will see that we've got about 21k. You only need 30k for an MP5 or a UMR. And you need 20k for the best sight in the game. Although I feel that the sight that I used on the UMR, okay, the blocky sight, actually works better. So test those 3 sights and see which ones work better for you, because I can definitely see one of them work better. And yeah, I'm just showing you guys everything, every town, Yantar, all the towns, everywhere, all the mission areas gives you the same loot. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where you spawn when you start a game or where you spawn when you die. 80% of the locations on the map are going to give you the same kind of gear. Starting gear and starting loot to go sell at the safe zones. Yeah, I'm just showing you at Stepno, you'll get AIs here quite regularly. And yeah, sometimes you get lucky with tier 2 gear here in the toilet. Okay, not a lot of people open the toilets, but I use the tab option to look what's on the ground, and then I can just loot much quicker and still, be aware of my surroundings. I don't like looking all over. Okay, I don't always like looking where everything is. When I enter a small room, I'd rather just use the tab key, okay, and see, because I know more or less how far I detect things on the ground when I press tab, because you can test that as well. You can stand at an item, move away from it, and then see when it disappears from your tab menu. So I know what the range is, on the things that I can see on the ground. Sometimes you can even see stuff below or above you, and it's important to know how big that bubble is, so that you can, always use the tab function to loot things quicker and be aware of your surroundings, instead of looking everywhere and maybe missing AI coming up on you, or a player sneaking up on you, or something like that. And again, trees. Okay, trees are extremely important. And yes, every single AI you kill is very important. They give you dirty rags, which you can turn into sterilized rags. But I'm on 82 health, and I've got an assault vest on me. So I know if a Mosin shoots me, and I can get hit by a Mosin, because just above me is the barracks. Just above Stefano are the barracks where military AI spawns. And even in these trees to our right, the forest to our right, military AI spawn here as well. Okay, so the route that you see at the barracks with the 3 military AIs normally walking, they can even, you can even run into them in Stefano, which makes Stefano quite a good area to run into tier 2 AI. But I know that if a tier 2 AI, a military AI, shoots me with a Mosin, I'm going to die if I have less than 92 health. Okay, so I don't want to die the first shot he shoots me. I want to make sure I can take that shot. Even if you're on a populated server and you know that other people know how to loot, you want to be able to take a Mosin shot from a player to stay in the fight, and have a chance to live. If you run into a player point blank and he just hip fires you, you had less than 92 health, you're going to be dead. But if you had more than 92 health, he shoots you in the chest point blank and you spray him down point blank. Winning the fight, getting all his loot, a completely different situation. And then I have spoken about running, walking, and crouching. I know the distance, so that's why I started crouching now. I know normally it's about here where they detect you when you walk, but when you crawl and they're coned, all of them have a cone. If they don't see you, you can crawl right up to them. And if I had an axe, I could have killed him now. But yeah, and even if you stand up, as long as you don't move, okay? If you stand up and move, he's going to look around. But yeah, the crouching helps a lot with stealth, especially when it comes to AI players, okay? So yes, the one difference which I will tell you guys about, like these little shacks gives you building materials, but towns overall gives you more guns. Okay, so if guns are your priority instead of getting stuff to sell, or building materials, then you want to be looting towns always. Okay, because there are AI spawn points at almost every single town, so it's a great way to farm AI. And yeah, it's a great way to get back into action. Okay, so towns are your number one priority when you want to fight, and then all the other locations are a mix of everything. Okay, this is basically the coolest gear that I found in the game. Okay, and I really love the hunter's gear, the way it looks. And yeah, I'm just showing you guys all the helmets, all the heavy helmets that you can wear with it, and just look what color looks best. I hope they bring out more color variations and more kinds of cool loot. I mean, they're bringing out a lot of cool guns, but I would love them to add to this unique gear, okay? Because it can really let us look unique. It can give our clans, like an identity on a server. And it's just a lot of fun. I feel I enjoy the game more when I really look cool. But of course, my server is first person only, because when I quit now, I'm just gonna kill myself or suicide, and then I'm putting the server back to first person, and I'm setting the loot back to 5%, which is actually 50% less than on official servers, because that's how I like to play. But in any case, guys, in the next episode, we're going to look at the fastest way to get tier 2 loot, and we're going to look at the tier 2 loot locations, like the barracks and the tents and the military base and all the other secret spots and checkpoints that you might not know about. So if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so. And then yes, I hope you learned something, and I'll be back with you guys tomorrow.